What is up, everybody? Today we're talking about Kanye West's new rant against Nick Cannon and a lot more on Black Hollywood Live's The Trend. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Black Hollywood Live's revamp this week, which is now The Trend.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Dario Christian. Joining me today is Courtney Stewart.
What's up, everybody?
And our girl is back in the house with us today, actress and beauty Taja B. Simpson.
Hello, everyone.
Looking good. I see the little blazer action going
You know
on.
what? Thank you. Thank
Y'all
you. I had on white. I was like, I know I'm not
She
supposed to.
is snatched
do that.
up in the white.
Snatched.
She got
You
that
know,
ponytail
her
slick
edges
back. Yeah.
And you know what that means, y'all? That means them checks is coming.
Checks is coming.
We
Working,
love it.
sister. We love it. Fresh off the Emmys with all that chocolate up in there.
yes.
I know.
Yeah, it was a good week for us.
Good week for
It was
us.
a good week for us.
Yes,
we are
yes.
headed in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Right direction.
Well, we got a lot of different topics today, and as you know, as I mentioned, we were formally this week, and we're going to be making some transitions with The Trend to talk about the hot news. But the first thing we have that's new is the trending meme that we're going to start off the show with, that I hope y'all saw already. So we already know about the beef between Cardi B and
Yeah.
Nicki Minaj has been going on for weeks, back and forth, stilettos and all kind of messery going on.
Throwing shoes.
People throwing shoes. They on radio shows talking about beat downs and
Right.
everything else. Well, this meme appeared this week, and it is actually it says Cardi and Nicki 30 years from now looking back laughing at their silly beef.
Yeah.
Listen, whoever did this meme,
Yeah.
they were on point.
They were on
All right?
Amazing.
Yeah.
They were on point because now I was just saying to the left, Cardi B actually looks like my auntie in Arkansas. Shout out to my auntie Lois.
Hey,
Now,
auntie.
Hey, auntie Lois, if you're watching,
Auntie.
you know that's your laugh and your haircut, so don't be mad. So, but why they make Nicki's nose look a little extra like bewitched on there?
I mean,
It grew a little bit,
it
right?
grew a little bit. It got a little dumpling in
They
it.
say
You know.
things happen when you get older.
That's
you get
true. Oh,
shorter,
wait.
ears get bigger.
Cause
Our
yeah.
noses do get bigger. Yeah,
Your
that's
nose
true.
and
Yeah.
ears get bigger.
That's
So
true.
There you go.
That's
30
All right,
years from
well,
now. That's Nicki.
what
They
I don't
don't.
know. We'll see
But
what happens.
she still got that cat eye though. She didn't
She's
play
still
that
fly.
liner.
They still look
She got
good.
that liner. honey.
As
She
she's
Still look
doing
good. Still look good.
That is such a perfect meme. It
Yeah.
completely captures
It's
pop
one of my
culture.
favorites.
Like,
actually.
amazing.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah,
it is.
I think I saved it on my Instagram. I was like, that's so good. I'm
Yeah, I
gonna
did.
save
I
that.
did too. I start passing
Hold
to
on to
people.
that.
I'm
Got a
on
flashback.
Crazy.
Thank you, Internet.
So what is trending this
Thank
week,
you,
Courtney?
Internet. Okay, there's a lot trending this week, but before we talk about that, I got a rant for just a second,
Okay.
just because we talked about the NFL a little bit last week,
Right.
and I'm a little bit bitter right now because it came out yesterday, I believe, yesterday afternoon, that Maroon 5 is the Super Bowl halftime show
Yeah, I
this
saw
year.
that.
What?
Yeah.
In Atlanta, Georgia? Are
Yeah.
you kidding me?
Makes no sense.
It
No.
makes zero sense.
Zero.
We're so
Wow.
deaf, like running a whole reunion tour right now. Like y'all
Yeah.
couldn't have worked that out a couple months later to get them on. Like, I'm offended.
Yeah, but here's the
NFL.
thing. You know that they're never going to have
I
social
don't
death.
care. This
I'm just saying that,
racism.
no.
I don't
I
care.
know it is, but I'm saying I think they should have given him like a segment. You know what I mean? But as far as
You
social
said a segment?
no, what I'm saying is because what the Super Bowl brings is mass appeal, and not everyone outside of the African American community knows all the social.
That's
death.
the argument that everybody had about why they had Coldplay there. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy Coldplay. I think Coldplay is great. But Coldplay is not a halftime show. It's just not.
I don't
and
wanna
that's
see
why
Maroon 5. I'm not saying
Coldplay
that.
had to bring in some extra friends.
Right.
Well, maybe they will. Hopefully they will.
I mean, hopefully they
Well,
will.
I got a question. Were they booked prior to knowing where it was going to be? Is it something that they booked so far in advance?
That's a good
Maybe
question. I
I
don't
don't
know
that's
that
think
like.
they do that.
I don't think.
Because
I mean, I'm
think
just
it kind
trying
of
to.
goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was before.
I was trying
they
to give
knew.
it BLD.
I mean, she was giving them the benefit of the doubt. That's real. That's real.
Right.
But you know what it felt like to me?
Right.
Had a moment, and I was like, "All right, NFL, y'all done find these brothers for getting on their knee, whatever.
It's in Atlanta, it
y'all
can't be
already
too
get
black.
me mad. It's in
Yeah.
Atlanta. Okay, that's Black Mecca in the
Right.
United
Yeah,
States.
for
Okay,
sure.
y'all
It is
playing,
for sure.
and the music that has come out of Atlanta in the last half, Atlanta became the Motown of the new century,
Of the new-
basically,
yeah.
as we transition
Yeah.
into this century. So I was trying not to feel like it was like a direct another direct racial attack because that's just too much black
I feel you on
music.
that. Yeah.
And I was trying real hard not to feel that way, but I'm sorry, y'all, I feel that way because I like Maroon 5 too. Like, I actually hope they play like some old stuff.
But they're not
like,
going to get it hype up in there.
No.
It ain't going to be lit.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? And I was already struggling with this whole, am I still boycotting them or not? No, I still am.
They should have brought I would have been mad at like TLC. You know what I'm saying? TLC should have been. They could have done the whole.
It should have been a blend.
There's TLC. There's Usher.
Usher would have been good.
Usher.
That'd be great.
Usher.
That'd have been great.
Usher would have given us what JT fell short on.
What?
I said Usher would have gave us what JT fell short on. A lot of people hated on JT's Super Bowl-ness and felt like he was like old white man dancing and they weren't into it. I thought it wasn't that bad.
I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, I thought it was concert, but not Super Bowl.
It was not Super Bowl.
I thought it was like, oh, that's a great show for his concert, but not Super Bowl.
I was just mad he looked like a bum trucker from like...
Well, that was that whole
North
album.
Dakota. It was weird. All right. Well, we don't beat that to death, but I'm just like putting it out there.
Well, maybe we'll manifest that, though.
Right.
Manifest
some so death in the
NFL.
Somebody, come on. I mean, if it's not so death, we still got T.I., the Migos. I don't want the Migos for real, but
I would love to see the Migos, though.
Can you imagine
the Migos at Super Bowl?
Hilarious.
No, listen, white people be like,
what is happening
right
now? Right.
Silence.
Mouth open.
All right. We gave y'all some suggestions. Pay attention.
Putting that out there.
I know they can't change it now, but whatever. Maybe Maroon 5 will do.
But they can add. They can add some folks. They can add. They can add. Because they're doing surprises, so they can add.
True.
Yeah, that's true. All right, but we want to go back to our positive note as we like to start the show, and as we will call it from now on, people that were doing it for the culture have done it for the culture or have helped the culture move forward in some type of way. So today we are celebrating the life of Arthur Mitchell, who passed away. For those of you guys that don't know who Arthur Mitchell is or was, he's an 84-year-old. He passed away of renal failure this week, and he was the first black dancer that was a principal dancer in the New York City Ballet, and he is the co-founder of the Dance Theater of Harlem.
Right.
And if you black up in here and you don't know what the Dance Theater of Harlem is, you need to go look at your black card and reassess your life, okay? Because being able to do that, he integrated the New York City Ballet in 1955, and he danced with them until I think the early 60s, and then he branched off and went overseas and did a bunch of work as a dancer with his own troupe. And then he said the assassination of Martin Luther King is what brought him back to home in Harlem and decided that he's going to open a dance school for those of us who didn't have access, because y'all in 1967, we didn't have no access, especially not to ballet. Okay, so he opened the school, and since it's obviously grown, it's still there. It's actually still located in the building that they originally purchased up on 157th Street, I believe it is. And obviously it's schooled many of Harlemites and neighborhood children who under other circumstances would never have had the opportunity. So he set out to change his own community and come back to his community, and we appreciate that. And we just want to take a moment to say thank you, Arthur, and rest in paradise.
And
brother.
he's inspired, all of the names we know in ballet and dance, and Debbie Allen. I mean, we could go so many different places.
Anybody dancing, especially dancing the brown, because he literally gave the United States and the world a different vision of black dancers.
Absolutely.
Because he had said many times that he was
Gave
told
us
that,
soul. Gave us some soul.
Yeah, but he was told that like black people can't do classic ballet. You're a special case. And he was like, no, I got a special opportunity. And he recognized that if you could just give the opportunity to other people, that those diamonds will come out of the rough and shine.
It's because we can do everything.
Well said.
We can do anything.
We can do anything.
Stop playing. Okay. And speaking of doing anything. Okay. So then we're going to move on to the next story. That's a little less uplifting, sort of, but not, whatever. So y'all probably watching the news or at least listening to the radio or something. I'm shivering. I apologize. I'm cold as heck, y'all. That's why my voice is like, ooh,
but you got cold. You got a cool sign.
I'm so cold. I got
all
my
the signs on your shirt.
Astrology that I can't talk today. I'm literally
It's dope, though. That shirt's dope.
Appreciate that. Thanks, guys.
Where's the Leo, though? Where's the Leo?
I don't know. I don't care about that.
More importantly,
I'm a Taurus.
Cancer, though?
Leo's in the middle. Look at that.
Okay.
Nobody cares. Y'all can't even see for iTunes. I got on a black and gold shirt and they talking about it. Okay. Moving on. So if you're paying attention to what's going on in the world, we're about to get a new Supreme Court justice. His name is Brett Kavanaugh. He might have raped a chick a long time ago. And I don't mean to gloss over that as if it's not serious, but that's what our government seems to be trying to do. And this week, though, we got reminded by Miss Anita Hill as well as award-winning author Miss Tamera Jones that black women are always standing up first, okay? And so for those of you guys that don't remember, this is not the first time a Supreme Court potential justice has been accused of sexual misconduct.
True.
And it's not the first time there was a request for a hearing, and it was not the first time that the request for the hearing turned into a hot mess. Anita Hill, back in 1991, came out against Clarence Thomas, and basically she was dragged through the mud like she was a piece of trash because she came forward to tell her truth about what had happened between her working under Clarence Thomas, who turned out to be sexually abusive and harassing and all kinds of horrible things, but they put him on the court anyway, turned her into the problem, and as we've seen obviously with women over the years, like, she got thrown out to pasture. Now we have a new woman doing the same thing, and with the new Supreme Court justice, and Anita Hill actually wrote an op-ed in the New York Times begging the Supreme Court to say, or to begging the Judicial Committee to be like, don't F it up again, guys.
Right.
Here's your chance. Don't F it up again. And Tamera Jones actually reminded us that back when Anita Hill came forward, 1,600 black women took out a full-page ad in the New York Times. A full-page ad in the New York Times. And for y'all youngins that don't know about newspapers, back in 1991, a full-page ad in the New York Times is no joke. And these women donated money to get this ad taken out. Tamera Jones didn't remember who sort of encouraged her to contribute. She was a young 20-something in New York. She gave $25. She said she had to balance her checkbook afterwards.
Right.
But she remembered, and her signature is on this basically support piece for Anita Hill. So black women were standing up in the Me Too movement, obviously even then at that moment, and it's kind of coming back around now to like, who's going to stand up now? Because this woman is really, the woman that is coming out against Brett Kavanaugh right now is, y'all, she got death threats. She don't had to move out her house.
Right.
They literally were like, you have to testify Monday or we're just going to vote, kind of thing. So last we heard that she's not willing to testify on Monday. She is trying to work with them and do it at a later time, but we don't know if they're going to go for that, if they're just going to vote anyway. We just don't know. So how y'all feel about that?
How am I shocked? I mean, look who our president is, and look what he's been accused of, and he's our president, and women actually voted for him. So let's just start there. Right. I mean, this doesn't even scrape the ice as far as I'm concerned, you know, and it's interesting because I went to see Dave Chappelle this week, and he said some very interesting things about the Me Too movement, because he was talking to the fact about how he actually told women that they were doing it in the wrong way, because he said they need to get more women of color involved in the Me Too movement. And I agree with that, even when it comes down to this political,
y'all realize the Me Too movement was started by black women.
Right, but that's what he's saying. More women of color should be involved in it, exactly because of that point. And they're not.
That's because white feminists have co-opted the movement and turned it into something that is supporting what they are doing in the current moment, not what it was entirely meant to be. Which actually, by the way, was on the news today. God, I forgot already the lady's name. There was a white woman, that was saying that the Me Too movement is about men in power taking advantage of women in workplaces and things like that. What happened with the Brett Kavanaugh situation, they were teenagers. That is not in the Me Too movement. That's not what Me Too is about. And I was like, girl, see, that's why we messed up right now.
See that? Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Right there.
Yeah, I mean, that's an excuse. What do you think about that?
You know, here's what I'm really tired of. I'm tired of women having the courage to come forward, to tell their story, to tell their truth, and immediately they're liars. Immediately they're shunned. Immediately they're, cast out to pasture. And I'm just like, I get it that you want this man of power to be this perfect being and be amazing and wonderful and put him in the office or whatever it is, i.e. our president. But at the end of the day, there is some validity to what these women are saying.
Sure.
I don't believe, personally, that if women around the world are saying to themselves, you know what, I want to ruin my life.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to just go and put myself out and to be the forefront person of this X amount, whatever this, altercation is or whatever. I want to be the face of that. I want to be the next Tanya Harding. I want to be the one that comes out that says, you know what, I want my life to be ruined. I want my kids to have to deal with stuff at school, and my husband to have to look at me different. I want to go through all these different things for the sake of telling my truth. I don't believe that.
Yeah.
I believe there's validity and there's truth to what they're saying. We need to hear them and listen to it and defend them in their honor, or go through the proper channels. So it just really boils me over that every time something comes out, even male friends of mine, they'd be like, no, I don't know unless he got at least 2 or 3 people coming out. What?
Okay, but I don't want y'all to be mad at me, but
I understand that it adds
some
to it.
people lie, but some people lie and have lied.
I get it, but that can't ruin it for everyone. I
mean, that's true, and I agree with you, but I think that also set the tone for certain things too. Like certain.
But you can't live in that vein forever.
And then why is that the tone that's set? There's plenty of men that have lied to say that they haven't raped someone.
Right.
I mean, that's true too.
But somehow we disregard that as the thing that, like, oh, he must be innocent then. Like, why does it lean in that direction? But the other question is, because what people seem to still be toying with is if there is some validity to this woman's claim. But obviously it happened 35 plus years ago. Can it ever be proven beyond a reasonable doubt? Absolutely not.
Right.
There's no way we will ever know for certain, because he could end up saying, like, yeah, I got drunk, but she was drunk. We didn't rape. Like, well, who knows, right? Is that something that you, despite it, setting aside politics and your belief system about like what he would vote for on the Supreme Court, is that an action or a question of that action something that should keep him from the Supreme Court? Something that he did at 17 years old.
I mean, that's a very it's funny you said that, because I was going to ask you to that question. You know, how long, if you did something when you were a teenager, how long should you be penalized for that when you are, what is he, in his 50s?
He's in his 50s,
50-year-old man. That's really tough, because for me, I think it's tough, because there's things that we all did when we were younger that we have grown and realized were wrong and would never do again. But when it comes to, it's hard for me when it comes to like rape or a sexual act, that it's like, what type of person really are you? Is that still in you? That it makes me question that, you know. But should someone be, you know, scolded for the rest of their life because of that? I don't know.
Excuse me. For me, it's going to be a case-by-case basis. I can't necessarily answer that in just a blanket.
Yeah.
So just a blanket statement, no, I don't think people should be judged as a 60-year-old, 50-year-old man, woman with something that they did when they were 12. You know what I mean? Like 15. Okay, we're different people now. I'm different than when I was in my 20s.
Yeah. I'm
still in my 20s.
We all are, though.
We all are.
Anyways.
That lighting is bad for us today. Not for me, not for them. For me.
Right. So I get that. However, in a case-by-case basis, I agree with you. I'm like, yes, but if it has to deal with sexual assault, you being a sexual predator of any kind, that gives me pause.
Yeah.
That I don't know that I'm going to then say, well, yeah, let's go ahead and still support him. And what is his views now? Or then it makes you want to look at them with the fine-tooth comb and be like, okay, well, let me look at him even closer and see his views and positions on every little bitty thing to see if to make a informed decision. So
because it will reveal itself.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean? He will say something.
Absolutely.
That says where he's at with that.
That's probably why we ain't got them like 175,000 files or whatever it is that they still didn't release on him. Like they release everybody else's information, but he didn't, like, half of his stuff we ain't never gonna see. So I'm like, what happened up in narrative? Like,
and that gives us pause. Exactly.
That's true.
So about them files.
As far as I'm concerned, rape, crime, like actual criminal acts, like this whole like, oh, I wasn't sure, like harassment a little bit, like workplace, like I can kind of see gray area.
Yeah.
But when it comes to rape or like shooting somebody, like I feel like there's some things that are very
no gray zone.
You know, there's not a gray zone. That was not an okay thing to do, and that's also something you would know at 17 is not an okay thing to do, but you did it anyway because you knew what was great is that at that time you could probably get away with it.
Right.
Not that what you were doing was okay.
Right.
In any way.
Agreed.
So. Good luck, y'all.
Good luck.
I'll tell y'all like I'm not here.
Right.
I be trying to act like I'm not here sometimes because what's going on in the world is crazy. But we have fans, guys. Did you know that? Black Hollywood Live has fans.
I love our fans. I love their
Black
comments.
Hollywood Live has
I love
fans. We love them. Thank you, Black Hollywood Live fans out there. And I want to give y'all some little information that you might not know about our network. We're the first urban digital broadcast network in existence ever. We were the first. We came up with it. We were forever. Look at that. I got acquired, y'all. Okay. But since our inception, BHL has prided itself on creating outstanding content in all areas from news, music, and politics to lifestyle and entertainment, as you can see, because we talk about everything all the time. We've not only given voice to the often underserved Black and Latino communities, of which we're a part of, but we've also provided our hosts with some awesome opportunities and this platform so that they can exercise their talents because, as you guys know, getting started in Hollywood, ain't easy, y'all.
It ain't easy.
Ain't easy. The struggle
Not at all.
is all the way real. And BHL has also done the same for a lot of A-list celebrities and awesome people who've come through. Sitting right next to me, Ms. Taja B. Smith, guys. Simpson. Sorry, that said
Thank
Smith.
you.
I
That's
didn't mean
okay. You
to.
corrected it real quick.
I was
It was
working
good.
on it. I was working on it. Okay. But also, somebody who be co-signing on what we got going on, Miss Oprah Winfrey, has told us we are doing it well, and she's hung out on the network a little bit. We've seen her face.
We have.
Nice.
We saw Daryl chase her down a red carpet like
We
a few
did.
years ago.
We
So you
did.
guys, you can find all of that like digging on our YouTube.
Right.
That actually, you can actually find that run.
Right.
You can see Daryl chasing
You see the back of my head.
Marry me, Oprah. But now we got you guys. We need your help, as you know, all these online networks do. We need y'all to get up on the YouTube and hit the subscribe button. It's the red and white button that says subscribe. I ain't trying to call you dumb, but you know, sometimes people can't read. So if it's red and white, that's the button you hit.
Bam.
And you can subscribe to us, and we will be in your inbox on a regular basis if you want. If you don't want to be notified every single time we got a video coming up, because that can get annoying, because we don't always know that, you can turn that off. You can turn notifications off and then just make your way to YouTube and check us out when you feel like it. But either way, we would love and appreciate if you guys click that subscribe button, help us build our subscriber base again, and keep us fabulous over here up in the studio. Okay? So hit the subscribe button right now, because I'm saying it for the third time, because they say 3 times you need to hear something before
Right.
you remember it. So
Yeah.
I'm
One
going
more
to say
time
it 3
then.
times.
One more
Okay,
time.
subscribe, y'all. Okay, and then
subscribe.
we're going to do it in
Subscribe.
unison. 1, 2, 3.
Subscribe.
Okay.
And tell your mama, your auntie, your
Yes.
cousins, your brother.
And tell all your
everybody.
friends and
Like,
your homies
comment,
and everything
subscribe.
too. And make sure you comment in the sections like things we're talking about. You guys chime in the conversation, because we want to keep you a part of the movement all the
Yes.
time. And you can check us also out on social media at BHL Online. You can follow Daryl at Daryl Kristen, Taja at Taja V. Simpson, and me at Stuart Starlet, and join in the conversation about things that we have said, talked about, or things you would like to know about us. We might tell you. We may
Maybe.
not. Okay?
That's right. I
Join
love
us
it.
over here in the
That was
Black Hollywood
great.
Live land, y'all. We love y'all, and we appreciate everything you guys have done over the years, and we hope to continue to do amazing things for you.
You killed it. There you
Man,
go, girl.
great job.
Killed it.
Woo.
All right.
I'm
We're
out
going
of
to
breath.
move on.
And I'm cold.
And you go. Still killing it. That's a professional
We'll get
right
through
there.
it.
Man.
We're going to move on to our trending EUR web story spotlight of the week.
EUR Web Story Spotlight of the Week.
Well, we know we grew up to our girls, Tia and Tamera Mowry.
Yes, we did.
Sister to sister. And now
Sister.
Tamara's grown on to go on to The Real.
Yeah.
And has done great
She
job with
looks
that.
so good, by the way.
And she's 40. She looks real good.
She looks
Look real
amazing
good.
on this
Look
new
real good.
season. I'm like, girl, sorry, go
No,
on.
it's all good. You got real hype on that. I was like, all right. Look, I had to stop. I was like,
Right.
yeah, you're right.
Yes,
Like, for
I'm
real?
like her. She's just glowing in a whole new way.
Well, she's
and that
married.
wig
She's got
game
2
is
kids.
doing
Beautiful
it.
kids.
Yes.
She got beautiful kids. She's married. But a lot of people have been coming after her man
Yeah, they have, honey.
over the years.
They've been coming after her man for a
for a
long
long
time.
time.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, her man is a Caucasian man who is a former former reporter for Fox News.
Yes, he is.
And he's been getting a lot of backlash because people have been calling him racist because he's associated with the network. And so Tamara's been coming to her man's defense. She was recently on the Real because they were talking about the whole fiasco, what's going on with CBS and Les Mouvez.
Yes,
Mouvez. And you know, she's brought up the fact about people been coming after her man as well, been calling him racist. So she said this. She looked into the camera and she said, "There are some people who think my husband is racist because he worked for a certain channel. I'm gonna look in the camera and let everybody know my husband is not a racist." What y'all think about her coming at the viewers? You know, letting them know about her man.
Well, I'm all for stand by your man. So I think for her, she's fed up. She's annoyed with it. They, have talked about not only her children, but her sister's children as well, her husband. So it just gets to be, you know what, let me just nip this in the bud. So let me just say this so that it's very plain and make it very clear so we don't have to do this anymore. Now, obviously, you can't stop the trolls from going online and say whatever that they want to say after that. But for me, I'm like, more power to you. Say it. Shut them down.
Yeah.
Shut 'em down.
Shut 'em down.
And dude, like, why? Y'all get off the internet doing ignorant stuff like attacking people with kids and their parents, their
Right.
husbands and wives.
It's
Like,
like-
obviously, the man has brown, black children.
I mean,
at this point,
Yeah.
maybe he was, he's not anymore.
you know,
Yeah.
maybe that
Kids
changed.
nobody.
Once he went black, he didn't go back.
didn't go back, so-
it's
Maybe
like,
that's
yeah.
why he left Fox, like
Right.
because he was uncomfortable with
Yeah.
all that racism around him. Like,
Yeah.
let's not be so uninformed. Unless you've had an interaction with him that made you feel like he racist.
Right.
Like, why are you on her page
Right.
saying stuff? Like, just stop.
Yeah.
Just
You know, I
stop.
read a meme that was so great. It said, America is so racist when you protested.
Yes.
Right? When you
Well, go ahead. I don't remember it.
I know. You made me forget. Hold on. America
Sorry.
is so racist that when you protested, people think you're protesting America.
Yeah. That's what it is.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's
It's like,
That's
no,
interesting. I
protesting
guess, yeah.
being racist. Like, that's not okay. But it's so American, it's so ingrained in the cloth of the fabric of our country that they think you're protesting America.
Just America.
Yeah.
You know what
It's
I mean?
interesting.
Yeah, which is true. And it was a picture of Colin Kaepernick on his knee. And it's like, do you even remember why this started and what he's on his knee
Not
for?
at all.
Not at all.
It is completely
don't.
a
Yeah.
rejection of America
You know,
in their
exactly.
brains. Like, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, sis, that was never
crazy.
it. Never it. Never
But back to
it.
her, I think that was great what she did.
I do too. I
Yeah.
give her a shout out for that. And he had been at Fox News since 2001, and like you said, Courtney, he recently left. So, listen, they're attacking her and her family. So
Yeah.
I get with her on being a.
And reporter jobs are not easy to come
No.
by. It's not like he's just like, I don't like Fox News, I'm leaving. And for all we know, he thought he was contributing another voice to Fox News that they don't have as a regular. We know people working that have worked at Fox News
Right.
that are clearly not racist, and not just because
very
they're
true.
not white, but like because they're at they work there and they're doing their best to present their best voice and give some level to Fox News, because y'all, Fox News is out of control. It's just,
My
have you ever
goodness.
just sat and like
It's hard- it's-
recently
no,
like
it's hard
just
for me.
sat and listened to it?
Well, sometimes I'll put it on just to like get a quick update of like what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then I can't even keep it on too long because
Right.
I get upset and
Same.
frustrated. You know what I'm
Same.
saying? It's like I got to turn it.
Same.
you know?
I
do
can't
it.
watch it that long. Yes, I do. Watch it a little bit just to kind of check out the post and see what are they talking about. Go from CNN and Rachel Maddow, all my shows. And when you click on that, I'm like, I can't even give it 10
Yeah.
minutes. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
But that's the thing. When you control the narrative, you control the minds of the people, and
That's
they
true.
can control what's going into your brain, what they're feeding you. And if you're watching it, people are like, exactly, it was on the news. Denzel Washington said it best. You shouldn't have to rush to be first. You should rush to be right.
Right.
I know that's right.
You know what I mean? When
Yeah.
you're saying the news. Before, we used to watch the news, and it was like you knew you were getting the
Getting facts,
truth and getting
yeah.
facts. And it was like you sat down and you look forward to watching the news. Now it's so much news that it's just like, is that even real?
Yeah, what is news?
What is
right?
news?
What is
You got to
news?
fact check the news.
It barely
I'm
is.
That's
like,
right. You got to
geez.
fact check the
Very
news.
true.
You know?
Times are tough. You got to fact check the news.
You gotta fact check facts and the
Right.
word
Right.
fact, because they telling us facts aren't facts and we don't even know. It's a mess. Like,
It's a mess.
How?
It's a mess.
Yeah.
How we gonna get out?
Well, shout out to you for defending your man. And somebody else who's defending their spouse is
God.
Mr. Kanye West.
Yes.
He's been on
Amen.
another rant this week as well because I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Nick Cannon recently did an interview and they were asking him about, some of his past relationships and just a couple things that were going on, and he comparing some things. And we ended up finding out that he was talking about, his dates with Kim Kardashian. He said pre-surgery. So basically he was talking about the fact that he felt that she was insecure. He said that when he met her, he was like, who's this white girl with a booty? And, he just was talking about how, she always didn't like her nose and wanted to change things about herself. And now she's gone on to alter her body in many ways, from nose to
Allegedly.
Right. That's good. That's
Allegedly.
good.
It's not cop
'Cause we
to
don't-
none of it.
We don't want to say
Right.
fake news, but we know what the real news is. So, you know what I'm saying? So, he Nick Cannon in an interview was talking about the fact that, she was very insecure and that she changed herself. She didn't like a lot of things about herself. And Kanye, got a hold of this and saw these videos and this interview, and he got very upset by it, and he came on the defense for his wife, and he basically let people know, listen, he was specifically talking to Nick and Drake because he was a little bit in his feelings about Kiki and the song and who that really is referencing and, all of that kind of thing. So
And Tyson Beckford.
and Tyson Beckford as well. Although I feel like she came at Tyson. Well, she did. He kind of
Well,
did.
he
He
did.
did.
He
He did come
commented
at her first.
first.
He did. But Kanye made several different videos in reference to basically telling, in one, Nick Cannon not to come at his wife, and if people start asking him about his wife, basically shut your mouth. So now he's moving the family to Chicago.
He's moving to Chicago.
Right.
Well, that's true.
Moving
Right.
the family.
Well, that's true. That's
Sorry.
true.
Oh,
You're right, because Kim probably will only be visiting
That
Chicago.
wasn't part of that
Right.
narrative.
You're right about that. He's moving to Chicago. What do you feel about his rant, and do you feel that he was wrong in any way for posting videos?
Well, let me ask you this, because there was one part that I saw of Nick Cannon in that same interview. They were talking about he was suggesting that yes, Kiki was probably with Drake at some point and things like that. And so for me, when I watched Kanye West rant on his videos, that was more so what he was that's what I got from it. Like, yo, don't be giving this suggestive. There you go. Is that a word? Did I say it right? Whatever. Information out into the world. Like, but this is my wife.
Yeah.
There's a thing for men. There's honor amongst men. Whether it's my girl, then you move to the next level. It's my fiance. But wife is a whole nother level of respect.
Right.
That's earned.
Yeah.
Right. So when it comes to, and we're in the business, I know you know me. I'm not going to come out and talk about Mariah Carey when you were with her and do that. That's just disrespectful. So as a man, you should have said, you know what? I don't know nothing about that, which he does not.
Right.
He didn't when he in his own interview, and just kill that. So watching Kanye West, I heard about it, of course, and then I'm like, oh Lord, let me watch this. I thought he was poised. I thought he was, he was very level-headed. I thought he was very much like, yo, y'all want to talk to me. You don't have to don't attack my wife. This is my wife. We're in love. We're a family. We have kids. Like, yo, come at me.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Yeah. For that, I totally respect him for.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm all about loyalty and respect. Don't disrespect.
Loyalty.
Disrespect me and mine. Exactly, and that's what Tamera was doing. Like, stop it.
Yeah.
That's
Now, Quinny, you got this.
I can't wait.
You got a side eye.
I can't wait.
You got a side eye face.
No. The Jesus in me is right in alignment.
Right.
With you,
You
okay?
said the Jesus
It's
in
right
you
in
so crazy.
alignment. It's right in alignment. I believe. I honor what he did. I said, yes, Kanye, defend your wife. But then the little other one over here on this other show.
On this side.
I don't know what it is about, and I'm trying, because I don't want to be that chick, not supporting the ladies, but for some reason, Kim just don't get it. She doesn't get that honor from me, and I try to block it. She's moved on. Her past sex life is nobody's business but her own, and the way that they come for her about what she's done is not. It's sexist because we don't do it for men, except for maybe Drake. He kind of getting it like a girl gets
He
it
does
right
get
now.
it a little bit.
Because that situation this week is a mess, Drake, honey.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other trend.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't think it's cool that people are always on Kim about the mess, but there's just that part of me that still isn't fully
And I get
Kim.
that. I get that 100%.
I hate it because I don't want it to be. There's really no legitimate reason why that should be the case. Because in the end, she's still a woman, and she's done what she's done the way she's done it, and that's not for me to judge.
Right.
But it's just hard. It's just real hard. I don't know.
I feel you, and I think I'm so desensitized to Kanye West's rants at this point. But when I really watch the videos, I'm with you, Taja. I felt like, all right, I'm not mad at him at this time. If that was wifey and people talking anything about my wife, I want to talk to you about it. Why you have to make a comment? You know what I mean? It's not even necessary. And why do you even? Because there was also a little bit of people were saying that Nick's brought this up several times in interviews in the past as well about him dating Kim and that kind of stuff. So it's why do you keep bringing things up? What's the point? Is this for you to make a name, extra name for yourself in the news at that moment, or what? So I'm not mad at Kanye. I would wish Kim would make a statement. Actually, I sort of wish she'd make it a statement.
I actually wish she doesn't.
Really?
I hope she. I feel like if she doesn't make a statement,
no.
Don't let her speak.
Yeah, I'm not.
I just don't let her. I just feel like
you said don't listen.
Kim just
Don't
need
let
to
Kim
keep doing what she's doing. She working on her politics. Raising her kids, running her business. Just stay right there.
Just do that.
Just don't be clapping back and trying to because I don't know why it bugs me.
You don't like her clap back?
No, not at all. Because number one, I don't ever feel like it's actually her voice. Maybe that's what it is. It doesn't ever feel authentic. It feels like her team is in there. Oh, girl, you need to tell him this, and then and she's doing it to and I just and I'm just
I feel you. I feel you. I think
you already if you really have you already won. They dust. Let them be dust.
Yeah. I can get with that.
I get it. Whatever. Kardashians.
All right, well, good luck with that. Good luck in Chicago, Kanye, and
by
Kim
yourself.
in LA.
Real quick, though, do y'all think he's moving back to Chicago? Because some people are like, y'all, this is the hoax of the century of him basically recognizing now that he's lucid, that he's jacked up his fan base and the people that are actually buying the Yeezys and the people that actually cared about Kanye, and he's now trying to go back to save face and change it up, and not actually because he has a commitment to wanting to be back in Chicago and revealing that he is out of the sunken place.
Well, whatever will help him to get out of the sunken place.
He said he out.
I encourage it.
You know what? I think it should be a show
Ooh.
Kim and Kanye take over Chicago, make it a reality
Girl.
show, and then
that.
make it a part of the brand, and there you go.
More than
There you
likely,
go.
that's what has
That's what
already
it's gonna
happened.
be,
And Chris
exactly.
came up with the whole thing about him going back to
Exactly.
Chicago.
Chris
That would
is
be
a
pretty
genius
good,
at the
actually.
end of
Chris
the
is a
day.
genius. Listen,
And
you may have
everyone will
manifested
watch that, 'cause it's
I would
Kanye
watch
West.
it. I'd watch it.
There you go.
I would like to say that I won't, but I will.
But I
she
know you
will.
would. I know you would.
Right.
I know you would.
Exactly.
They're like poison. Like, what
Right.
happened to our souls?
They're like this necessary evil.
my
Gosh.
It's all good. All right, so we're going to move on from those topics, the trending topics of the week. We're going to talk about something more important right
things.
now. Taja B.
Yes.
Simpson's
It's
career
me.
is
Yes.
more important. We're going to sip on that.
Sip on that.
Yes.
So you got a lot of things
Yeah.
coming out in this fourth quarter. You got
Yes.
London Mitchell's Christmas coming
Yes.
out in December. You got another one, My Online Valentine, coming out next year.
Yep,
So
in February.
You got some things going on.
I got some things going on, guys, and I'm really excited about it. I worked with Christopher Nolan of Inferno Productions out of Chicago.
Chi-Town again.
Can I even say
Big
Chicago
time,
next to you,
yes.
Courtney?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Hey, I went to school there.
I'm joking. So yeah, but the first film is called London Mitchell's Christmas. It's with Aaron D. Spears and Lisa Wu. That one I have a supporting role in. I'm really excited about it because I do a British accent,
Yeah,
and
let's
that's
hear
the
it.
one that I was
Love that.
actually able to really go in and just do my accent the entire time. So my character name was Chantal, and it was in an accent, and so I was really excited because people thought that they flew me in from like London or something, and I was like, oh, you're so cute. I'm actually from Louisiana. This is an accent. So that was really great. And then they flew me back out for my first leading role in a feature.
Yay!
Number one on the call sheet.
Hey, hey.
Number one on
Like
the
hearing
call
that.
sheet. Yes. So that was really good. And that's My Online Valentine. And that's with Robert Christopher Riley and Blue Kimball.
Ooh.
And that one's about a young lady trying to find love online. And she's found love, but then love keeps pulling her back. So she's kind of torn in between two guys. New love and no love. Haven't we all kind of been there?
Yes.
Right?
But it's been a while.
Courtney's letting it all out today. She got that. She got her shirt on with all
Y'all,
the
I'm tired. I'm
signs.
cold. I'm crazy. I'm sorry.
I ain't mad at you today, Courtney.
I don't know what's in this cup.
Right. I don't think
But,
it's water.
You would think I was drinking.
I don't think it's water.
I'm playing.
No.
But that's why we excited for Valentine's
Right,
Day.
for Valentine's Day. So 2 big holiday films coming out. So
I'm
I'm really
excited
excited.
about that.
Yeah.
Very
Because, I mean, you know, the last time I actually spoke to you was at the Boo 2 premiere, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just consistently working. I know you've been on Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
and
Weapon, yes.
all that crazy stuff that's been going on with that show in the past.
And it was before all of that. Like you
Ooh,
could tell there was
hun.
tension, but it was before everything like blew up.
blew up,
So
yeah.
yeah.
But I love when I'm seeing, you know, my black sisters working, especially like I
Yeah.
was saying, coming off the Emmys. Are you seeing that there are more roles now? Because now when I look at Netflix and Hulu and Amazon, it's like I'm
Feel
just
like
seeing
we're
so many of
everywhere.
us.
Totally.
So is that translating in, you know, really translating in Hollywood? you think?
Absolutely. It's been like a slow and steady race for us. But with black female leads, absolutely. We have so many on television right now, from Taraji to Gabrielle to Carrie to Viola. I mean, we could just keep going. There's a bunch. Netflix is, you know, really proud with their strong black lead, you know, their Instagram initiative and their film and TV initiative through their platform. I'm sure you guys seen that came out, and it was like every colored person that was on Netflix platform.
Yeah.
They all came together, had the big photo
photo
shoot,
shoot. Yeah, the
photo
video, and
shoot.
all
Yeah,
that.
it
And
was
I was
dope.
like,
That was
I
so
love that.
beautiful.
genius. And I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you don't even realize how many people of color are actually on their platform. So you put them all together, and I'm like, oh yeah, her and him and this, and shows that I watch, shows that I don't. So absolutely, you can kind of see it like parlaying and slowly going, you know, in the right direction. And then if we look at the Emmys, you see how many people of color were nominated.
Oh,
like
I mean,
it was like
it's ridiculous. Yeah.
it was
I
like
don't
20
remember.
or 25.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
That was
And we took some home.
and we took some home.
took
and then
some home.
Yeah.
Gina
Cat.
King now has 3. Like,
Yeah.
so all of that is very inspiring for me because that just paves the way for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now it makes the pill easier to swallow for everyone else. Like, oh, black women can do this. Okay, so then when I come through the door, it's like that pill's already been swallowed by,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're not
by
fighting
someone else.
uphill.
So then it's like, cool, I can see that now. So the barriers that's been broken just makes it easier for people like me and the people that come behind me. So I'm so appreciative.
Do you think it's the standard now? That's what I want to know. Like, is it the
Oh.
standard? Like 2 to 5 years from now, is this going to be the same thing that we're seeing? We're going to see what they actually call this year the even more black Emmys. You know what I mean? And are we going to see that, or is it going to be all of a sudden in 2 years? This is in
It
now,
fades
and
out
this
again.
fades out again, and then we got to recycle and do it all over again. You know what I mean?
Do I think it'd be the standard? in 2 to 5 years, I say maybe 10.
Okay.
I say maybe 10, but 2 to 5 years, I think that's the new cycle. That's
Yeah.
when it will cycle again,
Yeah.
and then we'll see a little bit less of us, and then it'll be hashtag Oscar so white or Amy so white, and then it'll come back. But I think we're moving in that direction for sure. I feel like Hollywood knows that we are talented, we're amazing, we're here to stay. For whatever reason, Hollywood seems to believe that black leads will not sell overseas, but yet they love our music, they love our culture. If you go to China, they love rap, like they love
Absolutely,
everything.
yeah.
Our sports, like everyone else does well in every other country but entertainment. And it's
Yeah.
like, no, we will be okay.
They love us everywhere.
They love us too. Even Asians, we're Crazy Rich Asians, which came and just like broke all kind of records,
Slayed it,
blew
yeah.
up,
It
slayed
killed
it,
it, yeah.
over 100 million,
Yeah.
to date. And it's just like, wow, that's amazing. So I like that these barriers are being broken because I feel like the powers that be, the older white men, Jewish white men that are, running Hollywood, they're having to get out of the way and say, okay, this is what's working. So how are you going to turn down another $120 million movie for the sake of being
Putting up
racist?
racist.
Or are you just going to say, let's make this money?
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Money always
let's
wins.
make the money.
Money
Let's
wins.
hopefully
Money
let's make
always
the
wins.
money.
Black
Yeah,
Panther,
so.
broke so many barriers
Yeah.
that it's just like, okay, we can see this now. So I think in 7 to 10 years, it'll be the standard.
But you also work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I do.
and direct
And that's
as
important.
well.
I do, absolutely.
How do you feel that this trend and movement, has it affected you in that area as well? Does it give you
Yes.
more hope in that area? Has it helped
So
you
here's
with
the
projects?
thing, as it relates to directing, especially in television, you have to have, for a season, you have to have so many minority directors, right? So that gives like a little glimmer of hope for people like me who's trying to direct. So you have like Sally Richardson, who I'm desperately trying to work with.
Love Sally.
She's
We've had her on our-
awesome.
we've had her on
Oh yeah!
BHL.
Oh my
She's
God!
the
I
best.
love to
She's
work with her.
amazing.
I'm like, can I just shadow you on the show? Like,
Yeah.
I just want to be in your presence. Like, she's awesome at directing. So it leaves that little hole open. When I did Lethal Weapon, Silvertree was a female director, so she was the name Silvertree. You never know, right? But that kind of left it open to be like, okay, they have to hire us, whether they like it or not, because they have to.
Yeah.
So with that being said, whether you're a female, whether you're a minority, they have to give so many different episodes to those type of people, and that includes me.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see it a little bit more. Yeah, it's not just the good old boys club; it's the good old boy and girl.
I love that.
It's like there was a pause there. They're like, let her in.
Just
All right,
let her do it.
Yeah, all right, cool.
Just let her do it.
But you still have to study the show that's self-approved. Absolutely. I just did a TV show for my friend Crystal Powell, who's a comedian. She has a new show called Coffee with Crystal. And dealing with men, my God, dealing with crew, and they've never worked with me. They don't know who I am. They don't know that I have the skill set in directing. They don't know my knowledge. So they're giving me BS about what can be done and what can't be done. And I'm sitting there like,
Yep.
so
Like, that ain't
what
the
about
truth.
this?
Yeah.
What about that? What about this? And they're like, oh, she knows
knows what
something.
she
She knows what's
Oh,
happening.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that still happens for sure. Like, I definitely have to work really hard to do that.
Well, where can fans find you about and all your other projects and movies and TV shows that you're
books
doing?
and
And
Yeah,
all
books
that
books
good
and all that good
stuff.
stuff. I would say my website, www.tajavsimpson.com. It's going to have everything. But other than that, all of my social sites. So at Taja V. Simpson across every media platform, whether it's, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, everything's at Taja V. Simpson.
All right. And Courtney, where can people find you?
Same place everywhere at Stuart Starlet all over the social medias. And next week at the Catalina Film Festival, y'all come out next Saturday, the 29th.
And you can find me at Dario Christ on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything there. And thank you guys for coming to the first.
Yes.
I know.
So I'm the
The
first
trend.
guest.
You're the first
Yes,
guest.
on the trend.
It's amazing. I
You
love
are.
it.
And you are the trend. So
Well,
On
thank
the
you, guys.
trend, yeah.
be sure to check her out and all her new movies that are coming out and TV shows and everything else
Yes.
and follow her.
Yes,
and we'll see
yes.
y'all soon. Peace.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in. The views expressed here are those of the host only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.